Conservatives began to distance themselves from Trump after attacking on free speech. Trump's assault on free speech has not exactly been subtle, more of a slow motion storm. You have seen the angle, you know the space. With Jimmy Kimmel recently sidelined by ABC, we are witnessing a gradual erosion of free expression. Of course, Trump does not seem to see it that way.
I'm a very strong person for free speech. At the same time, when you have networks that where I won an election, like in counties, I guess it's 2,600 to 525. That's called landslide, a landslide times two. When you have that level of popularity or voter support, as I did in the last election, and yet they'll take a great story and they'll make it bad.
Exactly. It's just not fair. Kind of like during the campaign when Donald Trump made that bold claim.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Unfortunately, we all remember how the media spun that courageous admission, choosing to criticize rather than command the president for having the guts to highlight an important issue. But truthfully, good presses or bad, Trump never really seemed to care either way.
I want to settle this free speech question because you've said that you restored free speech in America.
Yeah.
Is that free speech including for people who are harshly critical of you, for your political opponents, for people who say things you don't
I
like?
become immune
treat
to
you
it.
unfairly?
I become immune to it.
See, it all just slides right off his back, completely unbothered. Aside from ABC lawsuit, the CBS lawsuit, the New York Times lawsuit, the Siemens lawsuit, and then 60-minute lawsuit, he is basically immune. Although I am not doctor, but that sounds a lot like being immunocompromised. Speaking of which, my guy, you might want to get that hand checked. Trump attempt to downplay his authoritarian use of federal power to silence critics, like dispatching FCC Chair Brendan Carr to publicly threaten media companies if they do not take Jimmy Kimmel off the air. It's deeply alarming, and it's not just Democrat raising the alarm.
He threatens explicitly, we're going to cancel ABC's license. We're going to take him off the air so ABC cannot broadcast anymore. And I got to say, he threatens it. He says, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I got to say, that's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Well, I guess that settles the age-old question. What would good philosophy sounds like if performed by a flu-ridden York Salmon off? But it's not just the gay with a thousand half-baked impression who's speaking out. Plenty of other conservative commentators have also voiced concern, saying that while they may not agree with what Kimmel said, the Constitution guarantees his right to say.
Because they can tell you what to say. They're telling you what to think. There is nothing they can't do to you because they don't consider you human. They don't believe you have a soul. A human being with a soul, a free man, has a right to say what he believes.
Every human being with a soul has the right to speak their mind. Honestly, I had even extend that right to Stephen Miller. But as we sit here watching our president drag the country closer to the authoritarianism, I imagine many of you asking the same question. I am. What can we do? How do we push back against the unprecedented level of government overreach? Well, I will tell you who is not asking the question: ABC. Sadly, ABC has now joined the growing list of companies that prioritize profit over fundamental freedoms. And if we want to push back and make our voices heard, the hard truth is money talks. That's the only reason ABC folded. What Jimmy Kimmel said did not warrant a suspension or cancellation, but When Next Media Group, which runs 28 ABC affiliates, refused to air his show, ABC started to panic. And what exactly made Next question their panel so slightly over Kimmel's comments? Probably because Brendan Kerr made it clear if they do not play ball, their 6.2 billion acquisition of another media company might suddenly hit a wall. Or, to paraphrase Kerr, delivered in full Ted Cruz fashion, we can do this the easy way or on the hard way. The same pressure applied the ultra-conservative Sinclair Broadcast Group, which owns 38 ABC affiliates, not to mention the tennis channel. And if you have ever watched that, Sinclair ideological fingerprints are pretty hard to miss.
Fault. Democrats. The score is now 30-love. A love which better be between two straight adults. None of that gay stuff.
By the way, Sinclair's commitment to media, fairness and ending bias in broadcasting is particularly a company motto. So much so what? So much so that a few years back they made every anchor at Sinclair old station read the exact same script on air. Nothing says balance like synchronized messaging.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories are true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous.
But hey, just like Kimmel cancellation, I am sure that was all just one big coincidence. Let's be clear, Donald Trump and the right wing are not trying to level the playing field. They are trying to silence voice they do not agree with. And the companies like ABC, I say this, make them take the hard road. If money equals power, then ABC, owned by Disney, has plenty of power to push back. Use it. Disney Entertainment reported 22.5 billion revenue in just the last quarter of the last year. So it seems they could easily absorb any financial hit if it means protecting our right to free speech. But this was not about weathering losses. It was about chasing bigger profits and buying more stations because apparently that's all ABC carries about. Not free speech, not the First Amendment, and certainly not the danger of improving increasingly autocratic Donald Trump. Their only goal is padding their bottom line. Democracy, that's just collateral damage. Look, I am 100% independent. I am not owned by someone multinational media giant and no advertising overload tell me what to say. You have heard me say it 1,000 times, but the sad truth is ABC is not alone in folding. They are just another wealthy conglomerate unwilling to do what it takes to stop our country's slide toward autocracy. CBS News gave in to Trump universities like Brown, Columbia, and Chapin gave in. Law firms like Coldest, Kirkland, and Ellis, Goldwater, and many others did too. Every time Every time a media company, university, or a law firm caves to this president demand, it only make him stronger and America weaker. Trump is like freedom sucking vampire. His power grows every time someone lets him sink in his teeth in our rights, fueling his drive to keep pushing. How do we stop? How do we stop this freedom sucking vampire? Obviously, not with a cross. That would have worked long ago. It's by standing up the making your voices heard over however you can. And if you are frustrated as I am with what ABC did, speak up with your wallet. I personally cancel my whole Disney package. even though I do not want to. I have got tons of friends in entertainment, and honestly, I am dying to see what happens in season 3 of Vanderpump Vela. But I am confident that my friends and Marciano will understand that the freedom of worth the sacrifice. Now, now is the time to fight back and show anyone whose case to Donald Trump that our money is just a green and anyone else. These media outlets are about one thing above all else, bottom line. So let's hit them where it hurts financially because we cannot give up our democracy without a fight. Difficult as it may be, as a 6 year senior in your voice acting 101 class 1 said.
We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.